across the country, people are complaining, and governments are also saying we have the answer to the question of not enough housing. Brian Lilley is, of course, a columnist with the Toronto Sun, occasionally in the National Post, and he knows about this business, as do I. I want to put it to you. Are governments a big part of the problem of not having enough housing?
Huge part of the problem, and a big part of it is municipalities. The second biggest part, by the way, is the federal government. I'll get into that in a moment.
Okay.
The smallest part are provincial governments in any province. This is not just Ontario.
Well, I know BC.
Development charges in Canada are higher than anywhere else in North America. In Ontario, they're the highest in North America.
So how can politicians complain about not enough housing being built when, in fact, they are charging so much that you can't build housing?
Well, they're just charging developers, Stephen. They're not charging people. They're charging developers.
Oh, and developers have this big empty nest of dollars that they pay out.
Yeah,
they get it from the people.
They love this idea that developers are evil people who, just have to pay more. But of course, what do developers do?
They charge the people.
They pass it on.
Yep.
Like any business would. They pass it on. I'm not saying developers should be crying poor. They're not poor. They're doing very well. But I'll give you a couple of examples. Compared to January 2020, Ottawa's development charge for a high-rise, an apartment unit above 20 stories. So everyone says, build up, not out.
Right.
We can't have suburban sprawl, build up. $85,000 a door. That's a 202% increase in 2 years when you take the total charges together. In the Toronto area, the GTA, it's $116,000 per unit.
Well, the thing in Ottawa, though, they needed all that money to compensate everybody for the noise the truckers were making.
but how do you say, well, we need more affordable housing, and then you charge between $85,000 and $116 before a shovel hits the ground, before a 2x4 or a piece of concrete is poured?
Yeah.
That's insanity.
That is probably one of the new definitions of insanity, isn't it?
And then, once you get beyond that, you've got parkland or cash in lieu of parkland. You've got, in the southern Toronto, southern Ontario area, you've got GO train charges. You've got school board charges. You've got everything under the sun.
And in Toronto, they still charge you to have public art.
And there's HST on top of that. So if it's a new build, you're paying HST, which is one of the biggest charges. So, in some cases, the cost of all the government charges is up to 20%. Actually, it's more than 20% of a new build. So you can be talking a 700 square foot apartment and you're paying $600,000-$700,000. 20% of that is government taxes and charges.
Brian Lilley, thank you very much. And everybody out there who doesn't have a house, go to the officials, go to your politicians and say, you're the problem, not the developers. 3 minutes. When someone comes up to me in the Buckhorn Hardware and says, you're Stephen LeDrew, and I go, yeah. He says, I watch you every day because I want to learn what's going wrong in this country. We're doing something right because other people are not reporting things. If you agree, please subscribe and PayPal and enjoy.